Obama has his Joe Biden moment and basically tells black men that if you don't vote for Kamala, then you ain't black. Let's check it out.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
He is very condescending. Seriously, who do these people think they are? Who does Obama think he is? Telling these young men, talking to them that kind of way, telling them that you better vote for the black woman because she's just like you. You know, you see his wordplay. Let me talk to the. This seems to be a problem amongst the brothers. Let me talk to you all here in this room right now. We got somebody who's went to college with you, who looks just like you. Obama knows he doesn't talk like that, but he's talking down to these young men to get them to understand you better get in line and vote for Kamala Harris. Don't even think about voting for Donald Trump. Look, I voted for Obama twice for stupid reasons. I was young, my first time voting. Oh, black president. I got caught up in all the hype. I'm half black myself, half Guatemalan, and Democrats have been pandering to both sides for decades. And it seems like the Hispanic community is much more conservative as far as voting goes, and they are starting to wake up more and more. Blacks are too, a little bit slower to come along, but yeah, you even have Magic Johnson doing the work for Kamala Harris, trying to bait black men to get in line. You better vote for Kamala Harris. Let's check it out.
Now, there's a lot of black men in here, and I don't mean to, not talk to other people, but this is important. Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number one. Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he did not deliver on.
Like what, Magic Johnson? Tell me exactly what those things are.
And we got to make sure we help black men understand that. So that's why I'm here, to make sure I help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala.
He said stuff there that really a whole lot of nothing. He said a whole lot of nothing. He said Trump didn't deliver on anything that he promised to the black community. Well, Mr. Johnson, tell me what that is. We'll get into what Trump did for the black community. We'll get to that in a second, but let's check out some more from this genius.
I supported her when she ran for Attorney General of State of California, and then I raised a lot of money for her when she ran for Senator of California, of course, and she's ready. She can bring the country together. She's fighting for women so that they can have the right to choose. I mean, it's the economy. She's trying to bring the groceries down for families can afford groceries now. I mean, some of the things that her agenda, the plan she has for the country is wonderful.
What is that?
And then last but not least, foreign leaders want her to win because they know they can work with her.
No, because they know they can do what they want with her in office. Foreign leaders are supporting her because she's not Trump, because Trump will come in and won't put up with nonsense. Trump, we see how he handled Iran, but this putting the sanctions on them, taking out their leaders, ripping up the Iran deal. This is why people making other countries pay their fair share to NATO, before NATO, I should say. That's why they don't want Trump and they want Kamala Harris. But Magic Johnson doesn't know what he's talking about. They always go to, oh, she supports women's right to choose. It's a state's issue now. Why is it that these people always run to abortion for everything? A women's right to choose is not the most important issue in America today. How about the border? How about inflation? And he said she's trying to bring groceries down, the economy. Does this bonehead realize that he just said the economy is an issue under Kamala Harris, and that groceries are high under Kamala Harris? This bonehead can't even put that, doesn't realize that he's basically saying these things are a problem under Kamala Harris. Joe Biden, he's the president, but Kamala Harris said herself she would not do a thing differently than Joe Biden when she was asked on The View, and she's at a hand in all major decisions. She said that herself. These people are ridiculous. And Magic Johnson he's trying to tell black men what to do. He can't even raise a black son to be a man. Anyway, let's go into what the opportunity zones are, what the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2017 did to help low-income areas across the country. This is from the Americans for Tax Reform. They did some research here, and there were some projects, some investments that are made because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act into opportunity zones. So I'll show you some videos here, but we'll read through this first. Thanks to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act enacted by congressional Republicans and President Trump, new businesses are opening in opportunity zones created by the law, bringing new jobs and services to economically distressed areas. The opportunity zone provisions provide capital gains tax relief for long-term investments in low-income communities. Below are some examples of opportunity zones. Good news, if you know any. A food hall opening because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act Opportunity Zone program, creating a bunch of new jobs in downtown Twin Falls, Idaho. This place is already open. It's booming. Lots of restaurants, places you can get drinks, outdoor activities. It's opening and it's open and it's thriving because of this. Because the government they assessed where the opportunity zones were, and that was one of them. Another one is an apartment building. Actually, let's check it out. First, this is from the IRS. Facts about opportunity zones. Tax Cuts and Jobs Act includes changes for businesses and individuals. One of these is the creation of opportunity zones, an economic development tool that allows people to invest in distressed areas. This incentive's purpose is to spur economic development and job creation in distressed communities, by providing tax benefits to investors. Low-income communities and certain contiguous, if I said that correctly, communities qualify as opportunity zones if a state, the District of Columbia, or a U.S. territory nominated them for a designation, and the U.S. territory Treasury certified that nomination. Following the nomination process, 8,764 communities in all 50 states, District of Columbia, and 5 territories were certified qualified opportunity zones. So there were apartment complexes built, and let's check this out in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
200 new apartments are coming to downtown Tulsa, and the project is just one part of the whole block being revitalized. News on 6's Megan Farley is on the story you'll see only on 6.
The developers of the View Apartments are finally ready to break ground next month, but many of the changes coming to this block near Archer and Elgin are only possible thanks to recent legislation.
200 apartments, 2 pools, including one on the rooftop, and prime living for people wanting to live by Driller Stadium.
Residents that live in any kind of housing downtown They want to be in the middle of activity.
Gansko says the View will be one of the first of its kind in the entire state of Oklahoma, an apartment project being built in a designated opportunity zone, part of a Tax and Jobs Act passed in 2017.
The investors that invest in this property have a deferral on all capital gains, and ultimately the profits that are invested in this are tax-free.
Meaning those dollars can be invested back into the project.
The benefits of these opportunity zones allow us to offer some things that we're not able to if they weren't available.
Like more affordable units specifically for people who...
And what that does, you're creating jobs, construction jobs. You need plumbing, you need windows. So these are job opportunities right there in itself when you have construction of these apartment buildings and you have restaurants and that people need to work inside these apartments. If there's any restaurants in this area, people need jobs. It creates jobs for them there. Management opportunities, even if you're at the lower level, entry level job, it's creating opportunities for people. That's what this did. The opportunity zones. It helps everybody that's in a lower income area. Distressed area.
Who work downtown. And it isn't just the View. Right across the street, the soon-to-be Valley National Bank corporate office building is going up, and the Holiday Inn Express will open in the next month.
And just being in this district, you know, it's great for the Tulsa community, it's great for travelers. Because of the district itself, it kind of caters to every genre of traveler.
American Residential Group purchased that entire block where the View will be built back in 2015 from the Tulsa Stadium Trust with the goal of completing this type of redevelopment.
Well, there you go. That's just another example of what the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act opportunity zones did. You created hotels, apartment complex. Was it a bank building going up? Those are job opportunities and a place for people to live. These were great things that Trump did for not just black people, not just Hispanics, but everybody. And the tax rate dropped in all income levels. Anyway, work begins on a $24 million stone wall building project. This is in Birmingham, Alabama. Construction has begun on a $24 million transformation of a Birmingham building vacant nearly 40 years into apartments. Last year, I skipped ahead. PNC Financial Services Group has closed on $15 million in funding towards an adaptive reuse project at the former Stonewall building as part of the city's Federal Opportunity Zone program. Last year, longtime owner Ed Tichelli received $182,000 in state and historic tax credits for the renovation project of a 12-story office building, also called the Martin Building, located at the northeast corner of 4th Avenue and 23rd Street. The building was opened in 1925, once housed Birmingham City Commission and FBI Birmingham Division. It closed in 1983, and the 84,000 square foot structure will reopen late next year. It's already open now, as the American Life Building. Will have 141 and 2 bedroom flats, 1 and 2 bedroom flats, and loft style apartments, averaging in a size from 350 to 800 square feet with 1,200 first floor duplexes. There will be a 1,600 square foot laundry and fitness facility. In addition, the design calls for exposed brick walls and ductwork in the apartments, blah, blah, blah. You get the gist of this. My point in this here is that you have this bonehead, Magic Johnson, who's worth millions of dollars. It's not really impacted. He's hardly impacted by inflation. The border thing doesn't really impact him. He can just live in his nice little community. He doesn't have to worry about being in some of these areas here where people are greatly impacted by what's going on economically, paying for higher groceries. The guy might not even grocery shop himself. He might have somebody do it for him. This guy's a multi-millionaire. I used to like Magic Johnson, but I realized I don't like a lot of these people. The older I get, the more I understand how these people are. They do a lot of the work for the Democrat Party and try to get you to believe something that you may not believe in or stand for. So Magic Johnson needs to shut his mouth. Obama needs to shut up. These guys are morons. They don't live in the real world like you and I do. They're not working class people. They're not construction workers. They're not linemen. They're not pilots or firefighters. They're not laying concrete out in the hot sun. They're not bartending at a busy restaurant downtown, trying to pay their bills. These guys are wealthy beyond their means, and they're trying to tell you what to do, how to vote. Difference between Trump and Obama. Obama got really wealthy, after he left the White House. But Trump is, I think somebody called him a blue collar billionaire. Yeah, he's a blue collar. He's not just some billionaire who doesn't live in the real world. This guy has built businesses himself. He was down there on the construction sites, talking to people, hiring people. Was heavily involved with his businesses all the way through until he got elected, and he has his sons run his businesses now. But Trump knows, he understands business. He understands investing. He understands job creation. That's why he was so good for the economy and so good for all income levels, all races. It doesn't matter if you're black, if you're white. It doesn't matter if you're making $35, $45, $100,000 a year. You benefited one way or the other from the Trump tax cuts. 82% of Americans got a tax cut. Businesses receive tax incentives. There are multiple examples of businesses giving out raises and bonuses because of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. That is a fact. So yeah, Magic Johnson, I went on a little bit of a rant there, or rambled on a bit about this, but I think it's important that people understand what the facts are. And don't let these idiots fool you into thinking you have to vote for Kamala Harris because she went to college with you. She's somebody who has the same skin color as you. And I'm talking to all the brothers out there. Don't listen to these people. Go with your heart. You know what it was like under Trump. You know what it's been like under Biden Harris. It'll be more of the same, more inflation, more BS. But I'm going to leave that right there. We have to save America. Like and subscribe. Get out there and vote. Vote early if you can, because you don't want anything going wrong on election day. Some kind of cyber attack or whatever. Yeah. All right, guys. See you next time. Thank you. Take care.